Hello, and welcome back. I wanted to go through and do kind of an overview post on my Substack. I put out Friday for a potential short setup on SMCI. We had Dell report earnings, and as a data center play, it was not well received, and we saw SMCI show some weakness after hours, which made me kind of dive through it here. But off the weekly, it had gone outside week that day. It had lost the prior week's lows, which made me start looking at the week before that's levels as targets. We had a dark pool print that day, which wasn't hugely notable in size, but we don't see a lot of prints in SMCI, so kind of caught my eye there at that 819 area. On the 4-hour chart here, SMCI has been compressing for a long time here. You could call it a rising wedge. You could, just call it a wedge in general. But we started to break out to the downside here, losing that support. We are also losing this anchored VWAP from the most recent lows we had put in, and it had been compressing in this earnings reaction candle for quite a while now. So I saw it as kind of a catalyst to get it out of this compression. Also during the day, I saw someone come in right $1 million worth of short dated 820 calls, which would line up with that 819 dark pool area. So someone had some pretty good conviction that it wouldn't go over 820. So that was kind of like a line in the sand that I had mentioned. I also had an area of 810, 812 as a support area, resistance area to look for. So putting that all together, looking at it like technically from the chart pattern, the support and resistance I'm looking for, and then we have money flow to kind of like back our thesis that also someone is bearish on this stock, and we have some interest in the dark pool. So pulling up a 5-minute chart and going through it here, this was the after hours reaction from Dell's earnings. You can see pre-market we came up and retested that anchored VWAP from lows and failed it. I had mentioned this 827 area as well as a fib level, so we rejected there, opened up, got the push down, and I'm not going to pretend like I traded this perfectly. I didn't. I tried shorting through this 810, 812 area. I did hold through the drawdown here, but ultimately we came up and rechecked 819, that dark pool area, and 820 where they had sold calls, and that was our high of the day. And you can see we got a pretty significant sell off that. We got a 30-point sell there in 10 minutes. So I did hold through the drawdown. I got out around here. I was so far out of the money, I got like 80% on them, but obviously they went ahead. I had targets written out in the Substack as this 784 area, another bigger fib support here, and then the 762.63. So we hit 2 out of 3 targets. My third was the 750.58. But ultimately it did set up, if you were patient off that 819, 820 area, like tremendous entry there, hindsight being 2020. But hopefully that helped. Hopefully this like mesh of using money flow and like technical analysis is helpful. I do enjoy doing this the most and seeing chart setups match up with what I'm seeing come through the platform. But I hope to put out more setups like this that are like intraday and actionable quicker than swing setups. So hopefully this helped. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate any feedback. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.